Okay, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, let's give all praises to Yahweh,
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chachadash.
Double honors to our apostles and elders, and salutations to the elect of Israel. You know, the 144, scattered across the four corners of the earth. We're the Hebrew Israelites. We come out here week in, week out. We prophesy the downfall of America. We come out here to teach our people, the nation of Israel, which are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, come out here to teach the truth, teach you know, basically to show y'all you know what's up. You know, we're out here to teach our people. You know, get them out of this captivity mentally. All right, this Babylon the Great, which is America. You know, and we're in a. All right, go ahead. All right.
If I can piggyback off of you, that's beautiful what you're saying. We come to do a combination of things because people like to try to categorize the prophets and put us in a box.
Right.
But we come to do all the above in like fashion. We come to prophesy the downfall of the great kingdom that was prophesied to be destroyed in the last days. But at the same time, we also encouraging the elect of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to repent. You need to come back to the Heavenly Father before all of this destruction comes. That's what the brothers going into.
That's right.
That's right, man. And we're in a very spiritual time right now, man. We're at the end of our Passover. All right. This is the time a time of spiritual things, man. We're about to come out of our captivity. Right. All right. In the ancient times, the Most High saved our people out of an ancient captivity, which was Egypt. But now, the captivity we're in now is America. All right. You Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, y'all are in a captivity, okay, here in America. All right. And if you're not right with the Most High, He's going to destroy you.
That's right.
But if you are right with the Most High, He's going to save you.
Right.
In a nutshell, you know. You had a quick script.
This is just going into how, you know, while we're out here, you know, pretty much we're the spokesman for the Heavenly Father.
Right.
We come out here to tell the people what it is and what the Heavenly Father requires of the earth. You know what His will is, man. Hey, you know, everybody's sitting around knowing that it's a God, or a lot of people knowing it's a higher power. They don't know that He's involved, very much involved in what we're going through and what we've been through in this whole system of the world and life. You know, this is Isaiah 50:81. It says, "Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet."
That's right. And that's what we're doing. We're out here lifting our voice like a trumpet, man. And a trumpet is loud. All right. That's why we stand out here loud. Okay. Whether you hear or forbear. Okay. Go ahead.
It says, "And show my people their transgression."
And we're showing your transgressions. All right. All right. And there's nothing but transgression going on here in America. Right? All day, all night. All right. Week in, week out. Nothing but wickedness going on. Got more?
It says, "And the house of Jacob their sins."
And we're out here for the house of Jacob, nobody else. All right, the nation of Israel. To hell with you, other nations. All right, I'm just going to say it the way it is, man. All right, we're not out here to save no damn heathen. We're not out here to save Africans and Edomites and all you other nations, man. All right, the Most High is going to destroy you. If He don't kill you, you're gonna be put in captivity, etc. Man, go ahead. That's all. I gotta put something real quick.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 4. "Circumcise yourselves to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and take away the foreskins of your heart."
Yeah, and that's talking about circumcising spiritually, all right? Not circumcising in the flesh. Go ahead.
It says, "Take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doings."
Right, man. The evil of your doing, man. Okay. If you don't circumcise your heart, man. If you don't get right, if you don't get right with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, which is the Most High and His Son, then the Most High, read that again, B'Shem.
Lest my fury come forth like fire.
Lest my fury come forth like fire. Okay, all right, and that fury, that fire, are these missiles aimed at this place?
That's right.
Are these ICBM missiles? Intercontinental ballistic missiles.
That's right.
Which the nations are gonna throw at this place through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
Exactly. That's right. And you can't forget the chariots.
Yeah, kind.
Yep. All these things, man, these are weapons of the Most High's indignation, which indignation means righteous anger. Because the Most High, He's going to be justifiably, He's already justifiably angry, but it actually has to manifest in the flesh to where that judgment is going to play out.
Right.
Whether it be on the chief seat of wickedness, Esau, you know what I'm saying, these other heathens, or whether it's 2/3 of the nation of Israel who don't want to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments through faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, straight up, you know?
Yeah, man. Okay. Hey, and even though the Most High saved our people, is going to save our people, He still has a indignation. Is that the right word?
Yeah,
for you for the 2/3 of our own people. You know, just and going back to the old times. All right, He saved the nation of Israel out of Egypt, but you always had the 2/3. You always had Jake, man, rebels and all the, and them stiff necks and all them, just always just, you know, just being wicked, just, you know, always not having faith, etc. Go ahead. I got it real quick.
I get both sides.
It's Hebrews chapter 3.
Whatever, man. Yeah, whatever.
Hebrews chapter 3, verse 12. Take heed, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living power.
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
Okay. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today, lest any of you be hardened through the deceitfulness of sin. Right. You know, because we're supposed to maintain the spirit of faith as opposed to the spirit of unbelief, which we're going to get, Lord willing, in Exodus, right? You know, because that's the reason why the Most High basically let the whole generation of Israel that was in the wilderness, that was delivered out of Egypt, save, you know, Joshua and Caleb. That's why He let them all die, man. You know, He put basically plagues upon them, okay, because of their unbelief.
Yeah, Joshua and Caleb represent the northern and the southern kingdom, man. Right? And Judah and Ephraim, man.
Right.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? And the Most High always systematically had it set up, man. For those people that didn't want to listen, and those people that didn't want to that disobeyed, that didn't have faith, okay, because it all stemmed back to faith at the end of the day, man.
Right.
When they came into the promised land or not. They didn't have faith, man. The Most High ain't dealing with them niggas that don't got faith. And 2/3 of our people are a faithless generation, man.
Right.
Just like what the brothers want to go in. I think if you read more in Hebrews 3, you know what I'm saying, it goes into it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, this is your son, you know what I'm saying? So, go direction.
Yeah, it goes into what people bring out.
Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 3, I'm going to drop down to verse 16. For some, when they had heard, did provoke, howbeit not all that came out of Egypt by Moses. But whom was he that grieved?
Actually, where you read where it says, exhort one another daily, laws called today, keep going from there.
Okay, all right, verse 14. It says, for we are made partakers of Mashiach, if we hold the beginning of our confidence steadfast unto the end.
Man, we gotta have confidence that we're gonna be saved, man. Period, man. You cannot please the Most High without faith. Right. That's Hebrews 11.
It's impossible.
Impossible to please the Most High, man, without faith, man. You know?
Verse 15. While it is said, today, if ye will hear His voice, harden not your hearts as in the provocation.
Right. Yeah, man. Harden not your hearts, man. He's the word, man. He this day, man.
It said, harden not your heart in the day of provocation. That provocation goes back to the provoking in the wilderness, man. And King David said, read that part one more time. I just want to get one quick point off of that.
Hebrews 3 and 15. While it is said today,
While it is said today, right? Go ahead.
if ye will hear his voice,
If you would hear his voice, now keep this in mind. David was saying this while he was in rulership. While he was in rulership at this time. So this is going into a future prophecy talking about this happened after the fact of the wilderness. You see what I'm saying? Go read that again.
today, if ye will hear his voice, harden not your hearts as in the provocation.
Harden not your hearts as in the time when we were in the wilderness and we had to fully trust in Yahweh shine that faith, man. Don't harden your hearts like they did back then. Because it pretty much he's saying it's going to be another time where you're going to come into another wilderness. Now this next wilderness is going to be the valley of the shadow of death. Where there's no light, there's nothing but disorder and disarray taking place. This is another wilderness, man.
That's right.
You see? And we're wholly relying on Yahweh Shai to guide us through this place. Because in the wilderness, what did he use? He used the chariot. Now, what is the light today? The scriptures. Scripture says, my law is a lamp that's going to guide you in this dark place. Going back into why this brother and this priest is going into the time where people was disobeying in the wilderness. Why? They didn't have faith, man.
That's right, that's right.
It all stems back to belief at the end of the day.
They didn't want to uncircumcise, they didn't want to circumcise their hearts, man. And circumcising their hearts, going back to the scripture that the brother had read earlier, is getting rid of the filth that we understood before we came into the truth.
Right.
You know, let this demon go. You know, letting America go. Letting the way of family in America go. Letting the thought process of raising your children and how you have your woman over you in America go. You know, becoming a new man. A lot of our people didn't have faith because they couldn't circumcise their hearts and get rid of the filth that they learned in Egypt. You know, and it took them being killed. You know, it was the end result of them not circumcising their hearts, man.
Man, Moses drew a line in the sand, man. Joshua said, my house will serve the Lord. I think that's Joshua 24, if I'm not mistaken.
Joshua, I think it's Joshua the first chapter. But
Yeah, he said
it's
he-
in the book of Joshua. You know?
Yeah, he said, he and my house will serve the Lord, man.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, come on.
He said, "As for me of this house, we gonna serve Yahweh Hashem Yahushua."
Right, and I want to get the account of coming out of Egypt, if we can get that. Whichever one, brother. Huh? Exodus 13. Let's start at 17.
This is Exodus chapter 13, verse 17. It says, and it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that the Most High led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines.
Okay, and that's what Passover is, man. Coming out of Egypt, man, or coming out of captivity, so to speak. All right, go ahead.
It says, although that was near.
And really, if I could say this too, just basically like it talks about in Ezekiel 9 and 4, that mark, that the why, that exemption from judgment, because that's what we hoping to have on us in this second wilderness, you know what I'm saying, to prevail, to get to the other side, you know what I'm saying, to rest in the kingdom. We hoping we're going to have that mark of exemption, or that exemption from judgment, you know what I'm saying, being passed over, you know?
Right.
It says, although that was near, for the Most High said, least peradventure the people repent when they see war and they return to Egypt. But the Most High led the people about.
That's right, man. And you had the Israelites, or you had the Egyptians saying, basically, regretting that they let Israelites go. Okay, they said, hey, watch them, man, because they're gonna go out there. They're gonna go out there in the wilderness, and they're gonna realize that, hey, we had it made for them. Okay, and that's really what these heathens are doing, man. They're getting ready to trap you up. They're getting ready to catch you up, man. They think two-thirds think they can't survive, man, without being in in Babylon. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
if I could say this, that's why Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter says a gift destroyed the heart. Because they've been complicit. They know that the self-proclaimed white man, the Edomite, he's the ringleader of all of this madness, great robbery and murder that has gone on historically throughout the planet Earth. But because our people's belly are full, they're able to enjoy certain comforts and sustainabilities, man. They don't think that they have an enemy all of a sudden, just like they did in ancient Egypt. That's why it talks about Israel. They was basically reminiscent about the leeks and the onions and the garlics, just things that they was partaking in Egypt. You know, and it's no different today. You know what I'm saying? That's why people trim their way to seek love, because at the end of the day, that's why it also says in Jeremiah 51:7, they would have healed Babylon, but she's not healed. Because even though they've been beat down, they would actually, just to keep certain things going on, see their kids go to college, just see stability, so to speak. Even though you're a slave, they're all out being slaves forever, man. They don't want the kingdom of heaven to come. They don't want the enemy to be torn down, man. You know what I'm saying? They fear that process, like we be going into. They have a lack of faith of that process, and that we gonna prevail and be on top in the latter end.
Right.
And that's why the Lord gonna have to do away with 2/3 of our people, man. Because also that lack of faith, you know what I'm saying, it goes hand in hand with a lack of fear. There ain't no fear of the Heavenly Father, man. People walking around bugged the hell out, man. They really looking at us like, hey, we don't know what we got going on, but we already see what's going on in this place, man. We came into the tabernacle of the Most High like Asaph did. So that's why we compelled to go hard like we go hard. You know what I'm saying? Jake want to be like American citizens forever, man. Just forget about the kingdom, all the promises, the heritage that our forefathers left to us, man. I didn't want to go off, but it's the same attitude that our people had in ancient Egypt. That's why 2/3 of the rebels, they got to be cut down, man.
That's right.
Apostle Gabar, he always said something that resonated with me years ago. He says, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Point blank, man. You got to move you niggas completely out the way, man. You know? That buck dancing, shucking and jiving, you know, all that is about to be put to a rest, man. That's why Yahweh Shah's going to have to draw the line in the sand, you know what I'm saying? You either with me or you against me, you know what I'm saying? That's the time that we coming into. And people that are in gray areas or a lack of faith or whatever the case is, the Lord is going to make that decision for you.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's why it's all about faith, man. So, hey, it ain't about latching on, man. It ain't about being Lot's wife, man. It ain't about looking back, man. It's about going forward, man. It's about obtaining that kingdom. It's about having faith and getting the hell up out of here, man. This place is finished, man. There's nothing left to be had here.
Right.
Can I read that verse?
It says, but the Most High led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea, and the children of Israel went up armed out of the land of Egypt. Or it says harnessed out of the land of Egypt. And it says, and Moses took the bones.
Read the one where it said the Egyptians walk about Israel.
Okay, come. This is Exodus 13:17, about midway through. It says, although that was near, I'll just start at the top. And it came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, and the Most High...
And the Pharaoh let people go. He let them go.
It says, and the Most High led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near, for the Most High said, let's peradventure the people repent when they see war and they return to Egypt.
Hey, and that's what Pharaoh was doing, man. Hey, Pharaoh let the people go, even though he didn't want to, but the Most High hardened his heart, man. The Most High put the spirit on him and let them go.
And also, the Most High put plagues on Egypt, too. He was just putting a so-called holy hell on Egypt, man. So he forced Pharaoh's hand. And just like the ancient or the modern day Pharaoh Esau, the Lord's going to have to force his hand. That's why Esau, he's going to come up against the Most High even, man. He's not going to let us go. That's why the scripture says in Daniel that the saints going to take the kingdom by force. You know? We're going to have to rip it out of Esau's hand.
Hey, man, just stand back and go. Esau's going to display that same pride that Pharaoh displayed, man. Okay? Because I forgot what chapter, man, and what his servants was like, man, hey, look around, bro, we through. Like, bro, let him go, bro, we through. Hey, Most High hardened his heart, man. Okay, we know how proud Esau is, man. He going to, the same thing that happened, bro. This is spiritual Egypt, man.
That's right.
It's gonna happen again, man.
Hey, and Pharaoh realized, man, after the Israelites left, man, that hey, what's left to do, man? Because Jake is the salt of the earth, man. Jake builds everything up, man. You know, hey, and Pharaoh realized that. He said, hey, man, they're gone. You know, well, now what are we gonna do, man?
Right.
Bunch of inbred Hamites sitting around, you know, just, you know, doing nothing. Hey, what does Ham do, man? Ham don't build that. Ham didn't build the pyramids, bro.
Right.
Ham didn't build up that nation. You know, that Israel built that nation up, man.
Right.
So Pharaoh realized after he let them go, he said, man, we need to go get them back. And he said, watch them, man. When they get out there in that wilderness, watch. They're gonna lose their faith, man. The heathen, hey, they always said, man, look, watch, give them a minute. Give them a minute. Watch, they're gonna slip up, lose their faith, man. They're gonna fall back. They're gonna backslide, and then they'll be ready. They'll be ready to be taken, man. And so, yeah. You got to read that?
This is Romans chapter 9, verse 22. What if the Most High, willing to show his wrath and to make his power known, endured with much long suffering the vessels of wrath fitted to destruction? All right, going into Pharaoh in this instance being the vessel of wrath of Esau. I'm sorry, and the inhabitants of Egypt at that time being the vessels of wrath that were fitted for destruction. The Most High had patience and let them basically put us in captivity. All right, and let them slowly build up, right? Because the scriptures say in the 17th verse, it quotes when Moses said to Pharaoh, even for this purpose have I raised thee up, basically to bring him down. All right, continuing on, verse 22, and that he might make known the riches of his glory on the vessels of mercy. Which who are the vessels of mercy? The Israelites. You see, and like the brother's going into, we're living in the time of the second Exodus, where the Most High is going to show his glory again by bringing down who? The king of Babylon, the king of Egypt, modern day Babylon, modern day Egypt, modern day Sodom, aka Esau, the self-proclaimed white man. That's why this story is so prevalent to this day. I mean,
Yeah, man. The Most High is going to bring us out of this captivity. Once again, man. Nothing new under the sun, like it says in Ecclesiastes. All right. And then he's going to let the faithful go through, walk through, and he's going to destroy. Ultimately, he's going to destroy the ones that don't have any faith, the ones that don't, that ain't about it, man.
That's right.
You know. All right, so yeah, hey, that line is being drawn, man. That line in the sand is being drawn, man. You need to pick a side. All right, playtime is over. All right, and we don't care about your smirks. We don't care what you think about us. All right, because we don't care, man.
That's right.
But anyway, if we keep continuing.
It says,
Hey, and tonight, this night is the anniversary of the night we walked the sea, man. We got saved.
That's right, brother.
We obtained salvation.
Right.
As a nation. You know?
No pictures.
And can you not take our pictures?
You can do the signs if you want, but not the brothers up there.
All right. Go ahead.
this is Exodus 13 and 19. It says, and Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had solemnly sworn that the children of Israel, saying, so like sworn the children of Israel, saying, the Most High will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away from here with you.
Right. We brought Joseph's bones out when we left too. Right. Joseph, our forefather Joseph, he died in Egypt. And when we left out of Egypt, we carried his bones out and buried him in the promised land. You know? Go ahead.
And they took their journey from Succoth, and encamped in Ephraim, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord Yahweh went went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, and to them in the way, Salakia, and to them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and night.
Right, that pillar came out of a cloud, which is a parable in the scriptures for a chariot, which what you would call a UFO. All right, Most High had UFOs or chariots guide us out of Egypt. Okay, okay. Esau will tell you aliens are out there, you know, with deformed heads and retarded looking, suits and all that. But no, that's not the case, man. Actually, in the scripts, it tells you that chariots or what you call spacecraft are out there guiding our people. They give us signs and they do certain things. All right, they cause natural disasters and if anybody, if I get a chariot sign. Yeah, man. Those chariots would yeah. Here you go, right here. You got those chariots would give down pillars. Okay, and like you see in the movies, man, you see the lights come down out of the spacecraft. They look like pillars, man. They look like lights. They come down like this, man. And then they were guiding our people. And at night it would be like fire. It'd be a bright light of fire. At day it would be like smoke or fumes.
Yeah, there's precepts on this here. Just real quick. Yeah. Psalm chapter 78, verse 14.
If I can add something too, that was also a defense mechanism against the Egyptian army. Right. Because Pharaoh, they was also chasing the nation of Israel too in the exodus out of Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot going on, but that was our guiding power force. What they would call, with the self-proclaimed white man, which are the Edomites according to the Bible, what they would call UFOs, which we know they're identifiable. You know what I'm saying? That's why they, I think Ronald Reagan, that's who pretty much launched like the space program. So it's been known since way back during his administration that these types of things exist through the Most High. Those are his vehicles and his angels in those seats. So the government, they actually have a budget set to research and try to search out the chariots, like the brothers been going into. So I just wanted to add that, you know what I'm saying? We don't really speak on the chariots too much, but that's beautiful.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, Esau got the whole sci-fi thing going on, man. The whole science fiction universe and all that, man. But really, that's just set up for the nation of Israel. In reality, that is. Okay. Where no man go before and all that's gonna be Israel, man. We're gonna go where no man goes. Right. That's right. We're gonna be inhabiting that space out there when it's all said and done. We're gonna exist in that space. The Most High created that space for us.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying, man?
So Psalms 104 and 1. It says, "Bless Yahweh, O my soul, O Yahweh, my power, thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty." And what's that honor and majesty? It's talking about him residing in chariots, all right, in an enormous, what's that big one that, you got that picture? Yeah, imagine this, the size of the planet Earth, all right, or half the size of the planet Earth, like that movie Independence Day, the new one, when it had its own gravitational pull, something that big is going to come deliver to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Americans. And it sounds crazy to you, but and Native Americans, what I said, Americans, hell no. You gotta be specific. That's right. The Israelites, okay?
It's the Northern Kingdom, man.
Right.
They ain't Native Americans either.
Right. Well, indigenous to this land. Esau is the real alien. It says, verse 2, who covereth thyself with light as with a garment, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain. Okay? Who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. So what is that clouds, making the clouds his chariot? When you see like weather changing rapidly, a lot of times you have angels or chariots that reside in angels that reside in the chariot is basically creating the changing the what they call the weather, you know. And so this all is understood in the scriptures, man. But Esau tried to come out with his philosophies, you know, with Greek and Roman philosophies, making himself sound all smart, but it's all in the scriptures.
Yeah.
Okay.
Esau thinks he's predicting the weather.
Right.
Esau himself even thinks he controls the weather with his harp system and all that.
Yeah.
But no, man, you're not God, man. All right, and that's what it is. You are not God, man. Simply put, all right. And really, you're the lowest of the low. You're not even a human.
Right.
You're not even really an animal, man. You're just dirt.
Yeah, that's
Like it says in Job 30. That's a lot.
No.
Hey, if somebody want to grab it real quick in Job 30, all right, you just belong in the dirt, man.
No, I was just gonna say, hey, the Most High got it to where the so-called white man thinks that his inventions and things are working to the fullest capacity. Everything is just a-okay, and everything that he's thought of has came to pass, and it's great and wonderful. But the Heavenly Father is controlling it.
Right.
The Heavenly Father is allowing the so-called white man to use his heart program,
Right.
and he's allowing that heart program to work.
Right.
The Heavenly Father is actually allowing it to work himself. And then one day they're going to start trying to do things and it's just not going to work. One day they're going to try to fly an airplane, it's just not going to work. They're going to try to crank up the internet, it's just not going to work. The Heavenly Father is allowing everything that we use on a day-to-day basis to actually work properly, man. If it wasn't for the Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, nothing that we have in society would work.
Right.
We wouldn't even walk if it wasn't ordained by the Heavenly Father.
Right.
You know, we wouldn't think, we wouldn't speak. You know, the words that come out of our mouth, whether they be profitable or vain, it's the Heavenly Father's will. You know.
What do you think that breath that the Most High gave Adam was? The breath of understanding, the spirit of understanding. Like the brother said, backing it up. Because people don't believe when we say stuff like this, man. But it's all in the scriptures. I gotta bring it out. Job
Just a quick precept.
Yeah, con. Job chapter 30, verse 8. It says, they were children of fools.
Hey, this talking about you, Esau. You self-proclaimed white man, all right? You Edomites, all right?
It says, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men.
Base men.
They were viler than the earth.
Hey, there you go. You are viler than the earth, meaning you are nothing. You're dirt. You're less than dirt.
Yeah.
The scriptures say you're less than dirt.
Right.
You're a piece of shit.
I'd rather touch dirt than the Edomite.
Yeah, man. And that's where you're gonna be at, man.
Right.
Hey, when it's all said and done, we're gonna put you back in the dirt. We're gonna remember what you did, man. All right, you're going into captivity for all the disgusting things you've done to this earth.
That's right.
All right, you uplift everything wicked, man. There's nothing upright about you.
That's exactly right. And really, too, just for prophecy's sake, just for the will of the Most High, your time's just almost up, man.
Right.
That's just what it is. And Esau, they just can't deal with the fact that their time is almost up.
Right.
Those chickens have actually come home to roost.
Right.
Hey, that guilt and jumping the victim seat game that we play, all of that's about to come to an end. And we're just telling you, that's what's the funny part about it.
Right.
I guess the joke's on us, though.
Right.
Can I get a few scriptures, Bob Kushah?
Come.
If somebody can get Job chapter, I believe it's 14 and 5. You know what I'm saying? It says, yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm tired of looking at
As a
Esau
matter of
walking
fact,
around
somebody
in these
6 and 6 chapter real quick.
these upturned collars and all that, and their slacks and stuff, man. I get tired of looking
You
at
can
that.
read the one at Job, Bob Kushah first.
This is Job chapter 14, verse 5.
Yup.
Seeing his days are determined,
Yup.
the number of his months are with thee.
Uh-huh.
Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
That's right. So even though Esau through all of these innovations in technology, in this hyper AI era that we're entering into, they think that they're undefeatable. And really, if they can pull off the RFID microchip, you know what I'm saying? If they could pull off the mark of the beast to get everybody to make it made mandatory for the masses of the people, then they're gonna really feel like they're the Most High. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna feel like, who else besides me, like it says in Isaiah the 47th chapter. But at the same time, it's beautiful that his time is almost up, because he's not ruling by his own merit. He's ruling all through the will of the Most High. That's why it says, and I believe Daniel the 4th chapter, it says, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he set up over it the basis of men to rule for an appointed time. And Esau's time is almost up. Right. We're entering into what's known as a transition of power. You know what I'm saying? Because really, too, like it talks about in 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter, wickedness had exceedingly polluted the whole earth. This whole way of and mode of operandi that the world is going on through the wicked being in power is just totally destroying the earth. It's totally destroying the minds of the people. Everybody's bugged out. No one has a fear of the Heavenly Father. And most importantly, the Lord's people, they don't have any faith like we're going into. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing at this point but to destroy this place. But that's all going into when that appointed time for it to happen. Can we read that again, Baba Shah?
God. Job.
I'm only going to get a few and then, you know, but that's the spirit right now. Go ahead.
Job chapter 14, verse 5.
Yup.
Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee.
That's right. The number of his months are with the Most High. He already set it up in his own will, man. And the Most High, he's even subject to his own word. You know, so the word went forth already. It's only a matter of time before it all manifests in the flesh. Everything has to happen according to prophecy, like the Most High spake it. So he's subject to his own word at the same time too. But we know that that time is almost up by the various signs and just the decree and just the exponential rate that wickedness is going at this appointed time. Man, it ain't hard to tell. You know what I'm saying? That's it on that. You got somebody got 2nd Ezra? 6? Yeah, 6 and 7.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
That's right. So in the midst of all of this madness we see going on, because the Most High, he gave us his word, you know what I'm saying? Lord willing, we those men that can endure, but we see things keenly. We're able to make judgments on sight on every level of wickedness that we have to see. Even though we don't proclaim to be perfect men, we still go off because we're in the flesh too. But we're imperfect men in an imperfect world trying to walk perfectly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the point being made is that the majority of this world, and chiefly the enemy, you know what I'm saying, he's been going too hard. And it's only a matter of time that everything has to be changed around. Righteousness, the world has to be upgraded by righteousness. The earth has to be renewed. Go ahead.
It says, And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
That's why brothers really shouldn't get too upset. Even though the enemy and oppression maketh the wise man mad, you go through your day-to-day, it's certain things that frustrate you, but really, we should be upgrading and becoming more like wizardry on the right-hand side, though, like serpents, being cunning, just like our enemy, man. Being prepared for battle mode, because that's what it's going to. It's going to an extreme level. Right now, it's on a spiritual level, but everything's going to manifest in the spirit or in the flesh. You know what I'm saying? We're in that time. It's a transition of power. Transition's going to be ugly, man. It ain't going to be a pretty transition. That's why the scripture says, through much tribulation, we enter into the kingdom of heaven. It's beautiful that we know that the enemy's going down for all this wickedness that he's done, and he's about to go down. But it's gonna be an ugly, it's gonna be an uphill battle. But we got the Most High though, through his son Yahweh Shah. That's the hope for the elect at the end of the day. Go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Yup.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
Going back to the prophecy in Genesis, in the beginning, man. Hey, it was prophesied that 2 nations, we always have to go back. That's really the epicenter of this whole argument within the people on the earth is Jacob and Esau. And everybody else is pretty much a role player. You know what I'm saying? Those are the 2 main components. So that's why everything is in an uproar, because we're in that transition of power between those 2 major factions that were set up through the spirit. And that one's about to be set back up in his righteous lot. You know? Go ahead. What verse you was on? No, that's pretty much it on that. We're in that transition of power. That's the part I was going into. And the spirit that the elect is in is he's like, man, when is it gonna happen, man? We're tired of seeing our enemy rule over us, man. You know what I'm saying? Even though our people, they're comfortable because Esau has gave them certain appetites. He gave them certain goodies, certain gifts. A gift destroyed the heart. Our people are comfortable. Our people are, they may make a judgment in their spirit about certain things to where they'll have an opinion on a comment board anonymously, but they're not willing to stand on their faith and really fight for that transition that the Most High spake of, being an active part of that process.
Right.
Can I get one more night? And I promise I'm going to get out of here. Somebody can give Bob Kushai Ecclesiasticus or Sirach.
If I can say it, and if I can say that's why the Most High, had Esau born first.
Yep.
You know, you look at this world, man. You look at in the state it's in. It's like, man, this is not gonna end, man.
Yep.
It's like this hell is not gonna subside, so to speak, man. That's like that. You know, Most High has things happen. You know, in the physical, but he also has it happen for spiritual reasons too, in the allegorical sense. You see what I'm saying? Like in all the stories you read in the scripts, you know, but you know, Esau was born first, but that's what Second Ezra is talking about in chapter 6, man. That's why Jacob grabbed his heel. Jacob was trying to be born first. He's gonna take the kingdom. He's gonna take his birthright. He's saying, no, man, that's mine, man.
Well, you said it right. I mean, it was just symbolic of one nation set up to be in power at one point in time first, and then the one that was gonna come after, he was gonna have an everlasting kingdom. That's all points being made. You know what I'm saying? That's the time frame that we're in right now.
Right.
But we're in that transition process to where it's rough right now. But we're gonna taste of the bitter, or not the bitter, but the sweet reward in the end. You know what I'm saying? We're going through the bitter now. That's why we took the bitter herbs. Right. We're going through the Peshat. But can you get Baba Peshat, Sirach 10 and 8?
Sirach chapter 10, verse 8.
Matter of fact, we can probably start at like 7.
Verse 7. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man.
That's right. Pride is hateful before the Most High and man. And we was talking about Pharaoh in ancient Egypt. How the Most High, he hardened his heart. Moses was pleading to him, hey, you got to let the nation Israel go. You need to let us go. You know what I'm saying? Let our people go. But Pharaoh was trying to keep the Lord's people. And the Lord actually put the spirit on Pharaoh to go even harder. So that's happening now because, like it talks about in Revelations, 8 and 11? Or 11 and 8. This is spiritually Egypt. And Sodom. And we know what happened to both of those particular empires that the Most High destroyed. Right. And what was going on and what our people were doing. And this place embodies all of those characteristics of both of those places in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? But ancient Pharaoh, he's going to or modern day Pharaoh rather, he's going to harden his heart again, you know what I'm saying? Towards the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
It says, and by both doeth one commit iniquity. Verse 8, because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
That's right, man. And you don't have to be a brain surgeon to figure out who committed injuries, rape, robbery, murder, deceit, deceiving all of the different nations, taking resources, putting all types of people throughout the earth in bondage, being debt slaves, servants, slaves, sex trafficking. By traffic, you know what I'm saying, they show cause things to increase. That's what the scriptures say. I'm loosely paraphrasing. But the wicked, according to the Bible, he embodies all of these different characteristics. And because of all of those things, because of the seed that he sowed a kingdom that's built in wickedness, man. The Most High is about to destroy it and set up a righteous nation of people to rule in righteousness. We're going to have a law, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts in the kingdom. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a righteous kingdom. A righteous kingdom is coming to the earth. You know what I'm saying? That's why brothers are compelled to go so hard too, because it ain't all about just having a kingdom just where you're going to have all types of different women and land, which those are all going to be things too. But it's really about establishing order, establishing righteous judgment and government back on the earth, man, for the planet to flourish and we can live in peace, man. Right. That's what it's all about. We're entering to that time frame right now. And the arch nemesis from the foundation, man, he's gonna be at the forefront of that whole contention process. You know what I'm saying? That's how the Most High operates for complete balance. He set things totally one against each other. You know what I'm saying? For his own will to play out in the earth. That's it on that.
Yeah, man. Hey. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So just what the brother was talking about, man. Hey, Esau's kingdom is coming to an end, man. All your everything you got set up is about to be taken down. You know, your whole reign of tyranny, of wickedness is about to come to a halt or come to a stop. You know, according to scripture.
I gotta do something real quick. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, and verse 3. It says, actually, I'm gonna start from verse 2. But for that they did not hurt them now, of whom they had been wronged before, they thanked them and besought them pardon for that they have been enemies. Instead whereof thou gavest them a light, a burning pillar of fire, both to be a guide of the unknown journey, and a harmless sun to entertain them honorably. Going to what we just read in Exodus the 13th chapter. Matter of fact, this whole chapter goes into it.
Hey, man, going back to the point, man.
Right.
Going back to our journey to salvation.
Right.
Our journey out of this captivity. The journey out of Esau's stranglehold on us, man. Forever, man. For all time. No more we gotta put up with this devil's bullshit anymore. Right. Forgive my language. Hey, you know, it's just everything, man. Just everything, man. I don't want to go down the list, man. You know, you're tempted to go down the list and all that, but it's sickening, man. That's right. You can't walk down the street anymore without just being sick and tired of this place. Without being sick and tired of this devil. You know, because this is not what earth, this is not what Eden is supposed to look like. It's not the way the Most High wanted it to be, man. He had it happen like that, but it's not the way he envisioned it. You know, it's not the way he wanted it set up.
Because sin entered the world. That's why it's like this. So we're trying to return back to life, man.
Right.
Through Yahweh Shah, that intercessor who's gonna save us out of this madness. You know what I'm saying? Everything is about to be restored. That's why we're crying out for change as well, man. Because the whole earth, as we know it, is crying out for help, man. The land, every living organism, and all the people, of course. That's Proverbs 29:2. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. Like we're in desperate need of change management, like we're going into, man. You know, we know we gotta wait for the Yahweh Shah ultimately, but we gotta do until the end. You know what I'm saying? Crying out to the Lord, praying, just staying locked into the Word. You know, because we coming into those times where we know everything is gonna elevate as far as us getting out of here, man.
That's why, there's gonna be no more darkness, no more death, no more wickedness, man. That's what we got to look forward to. That's what our people always got to look forward to. But you always gotta have that foundation in your house, man, in faith, man. You gotta have faith, man. You gotta know, believe that is coming to you.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13. For the Most High made not death, neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living. For he created all things that they might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful.
That's right, man. The Most High is not death, man. He's life, man. He's a living power, man. He's vibrant, man. He's our power, man.
And the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon the earth, for righteousness is immortal. Okay? And that's exactly why in the kingdom of heaven, you know, we, the elect and the whole nation of Israel is not going to die, because as it's written in the book of Jeremiah, I believe it's the 31st chapter, where it talks about he's going to write his laws on our inward parts. It's going to be impossible to go up. We're going to be literally programmed like robots to do righteousness in everything we do, okay? Through the Spirit, you know? It's
Immortality.
right, exactly. That's the Spirit. Like, you know, Wisdom of Solomon 1:15, for righteousness is immortal, but ungodly men with their works and words called it to them, for when they thought to have it their friend, they consumed it to naught and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part of it. Talking about death. Ungodly men called death to them. And
Call it to be their friend, man.
right, yeah, exactly. Because Esau is a complete demon. That's why he's so bugged up. He has intimate relationships with demons. Like we pray to the Most High, we have an intimate relationship with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Esau has an intimate love relationship with Satan. Okay, that's why his scriptures say he's contrary to our doings. Okay.
Hey, and just to throw it out there, man. And Satan does the will of Yahweh Shem Yahushai as well.
Right.
So really, as brothers like to say, Esau, you're in the Most High's trick bag. You're really just doing what the Most High set you up to. Right. As we say all the time. You're set up to be Israel, the nation of Israel's whipping stick. Yeah, so to speak. You're just, you know, you're just his vessel. You know. Go ahead.
There's another precept.
I just want to put that out there, you know, because you know, Christians and so forth like to got this concept of, you know, Satan and all that, you know, fallen angels and all that. You know, I'm not gonna
like the
tread
Most
off
High,
on that.
like the Most High and Satan just having some type of epic tug of war in the heavens. You know what I'm saying? Just a back and forth, man. Like Satan kind of get the edge, the Most High kind of like, you know, straining.
Like Satan's over here just doing his own thing or something. No.
That's bugged out, man. That's old wives' tales, man, and just fake, phony, baloney, Roman Catholic philosophy, man, and
Right.
dogma.
Yep.
The Most High controls both sides of the equation.
Right.
In all things, he's a ubiquitous being.
Yep.
Brothers that like to look up words, look that up, man. You know what I'm saying?
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. For the Most High created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it.
Hey, through envy of the devil came death into the
Right. And who's the devil?
And who's the devil, man? We all know who the devil is, man. Yeah. And we all know Esau's envy of Jacob. And through that envy came death, man. That's there you go. In a nutshell, man. That's the reason for all this, man.
Who's the first murderer?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, man. You go back to Cain and Abel. Brothers talking about Cain and Abel, man. You know, Abel got that righteous what's the word? Sacrifice or
He presented a righteous sacrifice.
sacrifice. Yeah, and Cain don't got it, man. Esau don't got it, man. And you hate Jacob for that. Right.
Hey, that's beautiful in the spirit, because Cain, that name, it means weapon. And Esau was set up by the Most High. Ultimately, the sword, the weapon, that was his blessing. But it was a blessing unto him to whip us into shape right now during our captivity and our punishment. You know what I'm saying? I have a couple. Yeah, go ahead.
So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, said Yahweh, my Shem Yahushai, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
That's right, because like the Lord plagued ancient Egypt, man. When the Lord hardens Pharaoh's heart, he also put plagues on ancient Egypt when Pharaoh didn't want to let the children of Israel go. And like we've been going into, Great Babylon, aka America, this is spiritually Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So the Lord's going to put plagues on this place. And we're already seeing like the plagues as far as the whole retail store industry, man. They call it a retail apocalypse or whatever. All of these stores that you used to go to when you was younger, Macy's, Sears, Kmart, all of that's being shut down. That actually links up the prophecy in what Ecclesiastes the 12th chapter. Talking about the grinding shall cease, man. We seeing all these things come to play. So modern day Egypt, America is being plagued, but the plagues are going to build up as the Lord puts the spirit on these elites to go harder. Go ahead.
Hey, if I can say this too,
Yeah,
even Walmart, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody thought Walmart would ever go start closing stores, man. That's Walmart. Everybody go to Walmart.
But that shows, too, we're coming closer to the ultimate prophecy that we can't wait to get popped in the chip, man. Esau's pretty much doing away with all living specimens, if you will, man. He's going to straight AI mode. And the living specimens, you're going to have the chip. Point blank, period. It ain't no other way to go around this thing, man. That's why the Most High through His Son is definitely going to have to intervene, man.
Right.
We're going to have to get an intercessor. It's going to have to be an intercessor. It's going to ramp up too much. Like we was going into points earlier, the brother was saying how Esau, he just goes harder and harder and harder. It's just nobody can stop him. You know what I'm saying? That's why the scripture says in Matthew 24, if the Most High didn't shorten the days for the elect's sake, it would be no flesh left to be saved. We can't go in the pattern, in the lifestyle, or really the death styles that people promote every day. And it's being upgraded to an even higher level, day for day. We can't continue in this pattern. There will be no flesh, no life existence left. So go ahead.
It says, for wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
And that's why. And at the heart of the matter, it's all about sin. Which sin is the transgression of the Most High's laws, man. And this place promotes just complete rebellion mode against every single law that's written in this Bible. Every law that's written in the Bible, Esau and his kingdom goes completely against that, man. That's why he's the perfect devil. That's why he's the perfect enemy. He's the perfect adversary. That's why we call Esau, you know what I'm saying, the embodiment in his flesh, the self-proclaimed white man, the Edomites, we call you the Satan, the devil. These are all characteristics that you embody. Go ahead.
God, it says, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness.
It says their hurtful works are fulfilled, man. So you fulfill, you've just put everything you've had into hurtful works, man, that are destroying just whole nations, ruining nations' economies, turning nations into third world nations. Really, America's about to turn into a third world nation.
Right.
And the people over here, it's going to go complete bug out mode. And you can't say, hey, it wasn't men out there warning you. You want to say something? No, you got points. I'm just speaking.
I was going to ask real quick, can I get a quick precept?
Yeah.
You can grab Jeremiah 11 and 11.
Ooh, we're still in the Passover feast, brother. It's a feast.
It just ended tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Call all y'all Bashim al-Shah. You know what I'm saying? For a blessing for Shah. Through the Spirit, you know? That's beautiful. Doing the work just through that transition.
It's a holy convocation, too.
Yeah, that's a holy
What
convocation.
we doing the holy convocation right now, we out here prophesying, man, the downfall of Babylon the Great, man.
Yeah.
We are together, man, doing serving the Lord pretty much at the temple right now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Right at the transition process, like we've been going into, trying to get into the kingdom out of modern day Egypt. We're trying to make our bodies that living sacrifice to receive that mercy when the Lord comes with those chariots that we've been talking about. We need all that rescue and deliverance mode. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 11. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape.
And the Most High said that He's gonna bring evil upon these people that they're not gonna be able to escape, man. You imagine having your worst fear right in front of your eyes, but there's no escape and there's no running away from it. Like you in a dream, right? And you know, like you ever had some dreams where you know that you're dreaming and you just wake up like, man, whoa, I'm glad that was a dream. It's gonna be the point where it's like, man, you ain't gonna be dreaming, bro. That's right. And the Most High is gonna put all your worst fears upon you people, man. Lord willing, we stay hedged up and protected in that day, man. But it's coming with famine. It's coming with it's gonna be drought. You know what I'm saying? Crops is gonna die. Trucks is gonna stop. There ain't gonna be think about it, no electricity, no gas. Everybody's comfort levels is gonna be completely diminished.
Hey, you know what's funny about what you just said? This chick at my job asked me about that scripture today because she just seen some movie called Us.
Man.
So that I was just like, that's the scripture. So that's I don't know. That might just be the spirit.
I mean,
I was like,
at the end of the day,
what?
I heard the brother mention it, and I was like,
Same
really?
scripture.
It's the same thing, bro. Because hey, in the movie, man, like when shit started to really like in the beginning when it started to like kind of pop out, man, Edomite was holding a sign, man, that said Jeremiah 11 and 11. Man.
Yeah.
Okay, and you know, through the previews, you think it's just happening to the Jake family, man. Okay, come to find out, it's happening throughout the whole world, man. Woo. Hey, man, the Most High, man. Hey, Cole, bro, he putting that on our people, man, and Esau to put this stuff in movies, man. Why else would you see an Edomite holding a sign saying Jeremiah 11 and 11, man, and the brother just read it, man? Come on, bro.
Even on top of that, man, like, you know, not necessarily just go off of movies like a movie tandem, but like even a movie like Batman, like the first Batman that came out with Christian Bale in it. You know what I'm saying? What was Scarecrow's tactic? He was trying to put that fear into pretty much the whole city. Now, of course, you can think that's just a movie, but people don't understand how diabolical and how crazy this devil is, man.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's why the Heavenly Father said that He's gonna bring these delusions upon you, man.
Yeah.
You see, even in the time when we was fleeing out of Egypt, what was happening, man? People was dying because they were seeing apparitions and ghosts. You see, hearing creatures and certain things creeping up on them and behind them. I'm talking about people dying from heart attacks, man.
Right.
Read that real quick.
What, in Wisdom of Solomon?
No, Jeremiah.
Oh, Jeremiah.
Real
All right,
quick.
okay. Jeremiah chapter 11, verse 11, it says, therefore thus said Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape.
It says, which they shall not be able. This is in the Bible. Anybody that believes in the Bible, you should be questioning yourself, like, okay, if this is in the Bible, and the Most High said that He's going to bring evil to this place that I will not be able to escape, what do I need to do in order to escape this judgment? You see what I'm saying? This happened. It's going to happen on a grander scale in America, man.
Right, that's right. That's
Babylon the Great, Egypt, Sodom and Gomorrah, Rome.
Right.
All these different kingdoms that was ruling pretty much accumulated into one. America has a huge judgment set.
That's right.
And America's prophesied in the Bible, man.
Nah, that's right. That's right. I got a point I'll make too real quick. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll get right back to y'all as well. Land backing off this brother. If the brother could hold Amos chapter 5, Baba Shaw starting at verse 18, and read that Jeremiah 11 one more time, Baba Shaw. Because when you go into those evils that's getting ready to touch Babylon, like the brothers are beautifully going into, it's going into those judgments that the Lord is going to use. Every time the Lord destroyed the nation, He always had certain specific, I almost said Pacific, certain specific judgments that He used to destroy a nation, man.
Right.
All right, and the brother pretty much I went into those apparitions. All right. Now, matter of fact, I got two precepts, brother. Read that in Jeremiah 11, Baba Shaw. Somebody hold Ezekiel chapter 21, verse 14 on deck, Baba Shaw.
And Most High also, for the downfall of every kingdom, always had His men come out.
Right. Exactly.
Every one.
Exactly.
Every single kingdom, every single kingdom that was ruling, man, the Most High always sent forth His prophets at the end of the day.
Right.
Like before this judgment happened, my men is gonna go out here and tell you, and if you don't want to hear it, that's your ass, pretty much.
That's right.
You see?
That's
Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. This is you said Jeremiah, right?
Just read what he said again, because it's going to tie into these precepts.
Okay.
Real quick.
All right, Jeremiah 11 and 11. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, I will bring evil upon them, which they shall not be able to escape.
Yeah, which the brother that went into the point about the apparitions, but also you got to understand all the things that are going to happen that's down here, man. You're not going to be able to eat. You're not going to be able to drink. You know what I'm saying? Hey, remember all the nations that Babylon pretty much had fornicated with, they ain't going to be dealing with her no more, man. So a lot of the shipments that come over here from overseas ain't going to be able to come over here no more, man. So a lot of these people are going to die of hunger and thirst, like when Jerusalem was destroyed by the Romans. All right? Remember, when you go in Jerusalem, it was a high hill, and it had walls around it. So what they did is they cut off their supplies so they wouldn't be able to have no type of goods coming in or going out. So they pretty much starved them out to the point where they had to resort to either going into captivity, you know what I'm saying, or dying off. You know, now the same judgment that happened then is going to happen here. And when a lot of death takes place, you got animals that's going to come. You got plagues that hit, certain pestilence. All this happens. but it's all according to the eyes of the Lord. And a lot of you people are proud thinking that just because it's America, it's not going to happen to this place because of the military might, because of how it was established. But every great kingdom that the brothers are going into fell in a very dramatic fashion. Not one of them continue forever. The only one that's going to continue is the eternal kingdom that's going to come when we in rulership under Yahushua, man. All right? We'll look at in Amos chapter 5.
There's a little bit more in there.
Okay, come.
It says, and though they shall cry unto me,
Though they shall cry unto me, oh Jesus, help! Lord God! Whatever name you want to call, even people that's not doing this thing in truth and sincerity, calling on the name of Yahushua, man, what's he going to say, man? I don't know you, right? So it said, what? Read that part again.
it says, and though they shall cry unto me,
Though they shall cry unto me, right? Go ahead.
I will not hearken unto them.
The Most High ain't going to hear you.
Right.
He ain't going to hear you, man.
That's right.
That's
right.
a fearful thing, man. When you cry unto the Lord and he don't hear you, he turns his shoulder on you because he turned his shoulder on him.
That's right. That's
You see
right.
what I'm saying? It talks about that in Proverbs, the 1st chapter, man. When the Most High brings his desolations and his fears upon you, whirlwinds, famine, death, martial law, concentration camps. It sounds far-fetched. It sounds far-fetched. It sounds crazy. We are going to see, man.
That's right.
And it's going to happen, man.
Right.
And when you cry to the Lord, he ain't going to hear you.
That's
You want
right.
to know why? Because every time that the prophets came out, what was people doing? Fanning their hand, shaking their head, talking all kinds of shit, scoffing, being just complete demons.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the Lord gonna be like, all right, bet. Since you did that to my prophets at that time, when they came rising B times early to you and you didn't want to hearken, in that time, man, the Most High gonna kill you, man.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm just saying straight up like that, the Most High gonna kill most of the people on the planet Earth, man.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, and if I
Hey.
could,
No, it's cool. That's why the scriptures say, man, it's gonna be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth in that day, man. They're gonna be crying bitterly. Real quick, I want to bring this point up in the book of Amos, the 5th chapter, and then Ezekiel chapter 21. Just going into this. Who got Amos?
I got it. You can start at 18.
You can start at verse 18.
This is Amos 5 and 18. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord.
Right?
To what end is it for you?
Yeah, man, because a lot of these people in their feeble minds think that the day of the Lord is going to be a very prosperous, joyful day, man. But as we read in the book of Jeremiah, the 11th chapter, people are going to be weeping bitterly due to the destruction that's going to take place, man.
Right.
So it says woe, and the word woe means destruction unto you that desire the day of the Lord. Now we understand we hasten in the day, but we understand as well that it's going to be a lot of hell that's going to be brought forth on the planet Earth, man. Before you read about it, and we ain't gonna get it. When you read about it in Acts the 14th chapter, it talks about we're gonna receive the kingdom of heaven through much tribulation. All right, so we're not over here like, hey, the day of the Lord is coming. Well, we happy and excited that there's a possibility we're gonna be delivered if we those men, of course. But the stuff that's gonna happen before, man, it's gonna be fucking chaos, man.
Right.
And we're seeing the fruit. We're seeing the beginning stages of it right now, man. And we ain't even hit the major stuff yet, man. The mark of the beast ain't hit. You still can eat. You still can drink your water. You still can see the joy of your children every day smiling and laughing, man. All right, it ain't got nowhere near as bad, man. But lo and behold, people don't even know that Russia and all these other nations are gearing up for war out here, man. They gonna cut off the supplies, man. They gonna stop shipping goods over here. This petrodollar's falling and crashing. There ain't gonna be no way you can receive nothing. You already see grocery stores getting high up in prices and the food supplies getting less if y'all notice.
Yep.
All right? Go ahead,
It says, the day of the Lord is darkness and not light.
It's darkness and not light, man. And the scriptures talk about it being gross, thick darkness, man. All right? Talks about it's going to be a day of darkness and gloominess. It says it's going to be so bad, the sun and the moon are going to be blotted out, man. And a lot of that's pertaining to the chariots that's going to be in the sky, the missiles that's going to be shooting, and just the presence of the Lord in general.
That's right.
And even when you look at it spiritually, it's going to be very, very, very dark because the prophets ain't going to be out prophesying no more, man. All right, the prophets going to be out and about moving on. Lord, if we those men, Lord, when we endure, we going to be moving on, man. You know, and y'all going to have to be fend for yourselves because as the brother went into, you fanned your hands, you waved, and you didn't want to regard the men of the Lord that's coming out of the book. So the day that's coming, which the start of it is right now, man. All right, but it's only going to get even more dark. All right? Go ahead,
If I can say this, man, it's going to be so dark to where it don't even matter if it's daytime or night. It's just going to be all out hell, man.
That's
Whether
right.
any corner you turn, man, this is going to be scary.
Right.
It's going to be dreadful. It's going to be a sickness everywhere.
That's
You
right.
know, beasts everywhere, critters crawling on you. You know, you hearing things, people yelling. You know, I'm talking about yelling for their life. And then they yell been,
Right.
Cut
That's
off.
right. That's right.
you know what I'm saying?
God. Yeah, just like Egypt though, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, the brother brought out in Jeremiah how it's going to be crying bitterly.
Right.
All right, a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth. People ain't gonna just be just kidding. I don't know what to do. No, man, you gonna see your children dying, man.
Right.
You ain't gonna be able to eat, crying of hunger.
Right.
You know,
Right.
eating your child, man.
Right. Right.
You know, it's gonna be bad out here, man. And it might sound funny. You know, we laughing and giggling, but it's come on. I don't have any children or nothing like that, man. But brothers that do, hey, man. That's why it's important to stay locked into the spirit.
That's great.
You know what I'm saying? Because when that day comes, it's gonna be a day when the men of the Lord are gonna have to adjust. You know? Go ahead and finish up on that, because there's a point. You know?
It says, it says,
It's all good.
as if a man did flee from a lion, and the bear met him, or went into the house and leaned on his hand on the wall, and the serpent bit him.
So he's likening it to a fact that you're in the wilderness and, oh shit, a lion! And who can escape a lion? Tell me one person out here that can outrun a lion.
Right.
I'll wait.
Right.
But you happen to escape from this lion. Hoo, hoo, hoo. And that bear standing up on his hind legs like, nigga, what's up? And now you gotta escape from that bear. You know? And you escape from the bear, and you lean your hand on the wall and a serpent bites you, man. Now we understand, we go into this scripture here, and it goes into you ain't gonna be able to escape your judgment, man. Because that's right what Jeremiah 11:11 is talking about, man. But at the same time, anybody got that Ezekiel 21?
They show you that in movies too.
That's right.
The guy leaning on the wall.
Yeah.
Got away. And then zap, you know, that's, you
Yeah.
know, something hits him, you know.
Hell on all sides, man. Like somebody getting struck by lightning, man. You know the Lord did it, and that person is not gonna has no way to escape that judgment, man.
Right.
Or Jonah, you know, he brought the prophesy. I'm about to get on this boat and hide, man. Then a giant fish comes up and eats you, man. You know, but that's a man of the Lord, though. You know what I'm saying? So you can imagine the people who are wrath or vessels fit for destruction, which we know that's Edom, all right? But also, two-thirds of our own people, man, all right? Because when you read that chapter, in that verse there, we read about that lion and that bear, that's one of the 4 judgments of the Lord. Because best believe we're going into ancient Egypt, right? Ancient Egypt was destroyed not only with apparitions and famine and all that, but with all that death, you know, that brought forth animals, man. And out there in Egypt, it's desert wastelands out there, man. So you had lions, different type of ferocious, foul beasts out there, man, that was coming in there. So what? And that's the spirit, because I was about to go into that. You know, anyway, that Ezekiel 21.
What part?
Whoever want to read it, start at verse 14.
Okay. All right, Ezekiel 21 and 14. Thou therefore, son of man, prophesy and smite thine hands together, and let the sword be doubled the 3rd time, the sword of the slain. It is the
Ezekiel, this is Ezekiel 21?
21, yeah.
Oh, man, yeah. Oh, my bad, I was just saying, you read verse 9 real quick and then jump before they talk about how the sword is short.
It don't matter.
Well, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Just a certain point. Say a certain point. But
I was
yeah,
just thinking about 21, I was thinking of that chapter before you.
Ezekiel 21 and 14. Thou therefore, son of man, prophesy and smite thine hands together, and let the sword be doubled the 3rd time, the sword of the slain.
that's right. Go ahead.
It is the sword of the great men that are slain, which entereth into their privy chambers.
Go ahead.
I have set the point of the sword against all their gates, that their heart may faint, and their ruins be multiplied. Ah, it is made bright, it is wrapped up for the slaughter. Go the one way or the other, either on the right hand or on the left, whithersoever thy face is set.
There was a point that I wanted to, maybe it's in Ezekiel 14. I'm sorry, hold on one sec. I want to go, I'm sorry, Ezekiel 14 and 21.
Okay.
If you had a point you was going to say, it sounded like you was going to say something.
Well, it still goes into what we talking
goes-
about.
well, that's the spirit.
Because that's like a
Yeah.
random, not a so-called random scripture, right?
Well, that's the spirit speaking. Right. You know, but that, when you read Ezekiel 14 and 21,
Okay.
it really, just matter of fact, you can start around like verse start around like verse 15, but we gonna read it, you know, because I know the brother's about to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just, you know, adding on to that point right there what the brothers are going into. Salakia for the camera.
Hey, but we can edify on that though.
Absolutely, indeed.
Because it's going into how that sword is being polished.
Mm-hmm.
The Most High-
Did it say it was being double three times?
Three
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
Three
yeah,
times.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you sharpen the sword once,
Yeah.
and it's already sharpened. You do it again,
Yep.
and it's sharpened, and you do it a third time, man. Man, you cut through anything, man. It's clean.
I thought it said double
Yeah.
3 times.
Yeah,
Oh, it said double three.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's gonna be all hell, man. It's gonna be holy hell out here. You know? That's what I wanted right there. It was Ezekiel 14.
Okay, right, con. All right, so I'm gonna have to go back and read that. Ezekiel 14 and 21. It says, you said start at around verse 15.
You can start around like verse 15, but we gonna kind of,
Okay.
flow through it.
All right, Ezekiel 14 and 15. It says, if I cause noisome beasts to pass.
Start 13.
Okay.
brother.
All right, it says Ezekiel 14 and 13. Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously.
Now we understand that Israel sinned first, but you look at this land right now and how the scriptures say, "What hast thou done to declare thy statutes?" This land trespassed against the Lord grievously, man.
Right.
They spilled the blood of the prophets, spilled the blood of the Lord's chosen people, had them in captivity and slavery, are liars, thieves, so forth. There's a very sore judgment coming to this place. Hey, as you have the famous phrase, you reap what you sow, man.
Right.
And also, too, the chickens have come home to roost.
right.
Okay? Go ahead.
It says, verse, and continuing in 13, it says, then I will stretch out mine hand upon it.
Just like he did ancient Egypt. All right? When you read about the judgments that hit Egypt, the Lord says, I stretch forth my hand to it, man. And that right hand, that hand is who? Yahushua. All right? And you read about it in Exodus 12, it says the spirit of death. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, and will break the staff of the bread thereof.
What does that mean? Break the staff of the bread. Does any brother out here know what that means?
Power.
No, well, a lot of times you hear staff. Staff does represent power to certain degrees, but it's talking about the staff of the bread, all right? Meaning the food supply, you know, or famine, okay? Because we're going into the plagues of America right now. Of course, he is going to break the staff of these people, but the rulers are still going to be eating this, that, and the third. You know, they're going to go into their bunkers and be all right. But the lower level people that's out here, it's going to be hard to eat.
Right.
You know, food supplies are going to be cut off completely. You got no way to import and export. It's going to be all bad, man. You know, so we're just going to break that staff for the bread. All right, go ahead.
It says, and will send famine upon it.
See, that it clarifies it right there, saying it's a famine. Go ahead.
And will cut off man and beast from it.
Go ahead.
Verse 14. Though these three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it.
And it's funny it named these three people, man. What shows that they're going to be back in this day.
Right.
Whoever they are, Noah, Job, and Daniel, they're going to be here because Noah and Job and Daniel were in three totally different time periods, man. You know? But it's saying they're going to be back here. And that ultimately, too, we understand that symbolically represents the elect as well, man.
Right.
All right? And it says what?
It says, though those three men, Noah, Daniel, and Job, were in it, they should deliver but their own souls by their righteousness.
By their righteousness, man. All right? So it ain't about just, you know what I'm saying? It's literally about who the Lord chooses to deal with this, to go through it, man. The election, man. All right? His prophets, because these three men were prophets. You know what I'm saying? And you got the example of Noah, right? Noah was the only one that was found righteous on the planet Earth back then. He was out there preaching, and there was niggas coming up against him, spitting at him, throwing stuff at him probably. It's gonna rain, nigga, you sound crazy. And before that judgment happened, who knows all the stuff that the scriptures doesn't talk about the things that happened before the flood. It just talks about the rain that came down.
Yeah.
It doesn't say if there was a famine or anything like that, but we understand before the Lord destroys kingdoms, he sends plagues there first.
Right.
So it was all hell probably breaking loose on planet Earth before that judgment came.
Right.
You know? And then you got Daniel, right? Daniel was one of the exiles during the Babylonian. He was one of the exiles out of Jerusalem. So Daniel witnessed mass death. Daniel was witness on people getting put to death for their unrighteousness, man. And we all can talk about Job. He was catching holy hell. Job's family died. His children died. We understand he got a lot more at the end. But these three men were examples of people that see mass death and were only delivered out of it, man. All right? Versus everybody else.
David got thrown into a lion's den.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Come on, bro.
But we read earlier how these people ain't gonna be able to escape from the death.
Right.
But the Lord had the spirit on certain men to be able to escape from this death, man. But all these other people pertaining to, it's gonna be like you reach your hand on the wall, the serpent bites you, you move your hand and a lion right there, you kick the lion and think you got it, and breathe for a sec, and a bear bites your head off, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, that's like a comedy movie, man. Oh, get out of here. Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. And after that, let's say you do beat the bear. All of a sudden, a piano drop out there.
Yeah, man. A piano falls in your head, man. The anvil comes out of nowhere. A little rabbit comes up beside you, mouth gets real big and swallows you up. You know, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's what I was thinking of right
But
there.
that's good. The anvil gonna just hit your legs.
Yeah.
He's just gonna die. He's just gonna lay there for a long time.
Like Saul, got to cut your leg off.
Yeah, real talk. Real talk.
This is Ezekiel. Keep moving.
Keep going.
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 14 and verse 15. If I cause noisome beasts to pass through the land.
This is another plague, man. Noisome beasts. So he's going into the famine. All right? He went to the famine, then he went into noisome beasts. Because the thing about it, when it's famine, no food, dead bodies. When it's dead bodies, causes a stench. It's those animals that's going to come. And for the ones that's alive over there, it's going to be hella animals. And all this stuff is going to happen here, man. You got these zoos over here. In these zoos, a lot of these animals have grudges.
right.
You think you go to them zoos and, oh, look at the lions. Look, little Timmy, look at the lions right there. There was a clip on YouTube. We probably seen it. There was a little kid standing in front of a tiger pit, and there was a giant glass wall, and that tiger just and just dove on it. You know what I'm saying? Just imagine if that glass wasn't there. Little Timmy would be tiger food, bro. So y'all just think that, okay, man, the Lord is gonna put the spirit on these animals to leave from these zoos, man. People think animals don't hold grudges, bro. Like, look, you got killer whales that are literally the killer whales are in zoos and their fins are bent because of their depression, man. And it's you so-called white people that's doing this, man.
Right.
Taking these animals, doing all this. It's called a spade, man. Let's just be honest with you. They main ones that's putting these animals in the zoos, attacking them, killing all the animals in the world. Reason why it's endangered species because of y'all, man.
Right.
Just being honest with you. You know? You see a white rhino. Ooh, look at the famous white rhino. Look at it. Bop, bop, bop. You know what I'm saying? Now it's dead, and it was the last one, man. A massive amount of animals are dead because of you people. So just going back to the point, these animals are holding grudges, man. And the Lord's gonna put the spirit on these animals to get let loose. That's why we read in Amos 5. You running from a lion and the bear meets you. And you escape from the bear and then a serpent bites you in the hand, man. That goes into them plagues, them noisome beasts. Not being able to escape your judgment. And we ain't even talk about Leviathan yet, man. It's gonna get so bad the Lord is gonna send a sea monster out of the ocean, a species of them, to help destroy you people, man.
Right.
It's gonna get that bad over here in America/Egypt, man. And yes, that's in the Bible.
That's right.
Leviathan, they call Godzilla, all of that, that's in the Bible, man. And it's gonna come out in these last days.
That's right.
That's why they make movies going into it. As far-fetched as it might sound, the Lord is bizarre. He's far out, man. And the brother brought up a beautiful point. Because in Wisdom of Solomon, it talks about, in Wisdom of Solomon 12, it goes into beasts newly created.
Right.
So you got these scientists in these laboratories creating certain animals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm gonna mix this lion and this tiger together and call it a liger. And that's an animal that we see.
Yeah.
Man, it talks about animals that breathe out fire and vapors pour out of it. The scriptures talk about that, man.
Coming out their eyes.
Sparks coming out their eyes. Yeah,
No, because they had a camera in that, they had like a drone camera in the Amazon, and they had like a spider so big that it was dragging like a possum. Like, I know they, like that shows how big a spider, a species of a spider that big, it was dragging like a possum, like it was nothing.
It had his legs around his
Yeah. But the point being made with all of them drone technologies, because that's really the only way that you can capture like photos and videos of certain things within parts of the Amazon, because there's certain things in the Amazon that Esau, he ain't even named, he ain't even identified, man.
don't even know.
So that's going into those newly created animals.
Yes, sir.
Because we don't even know about
Don't
it.
even have no clue,
But the
man.
Lord, he's going to release all of these things for the time that we in now.
Bro, majority of the rainforest hasn't even been searched yet, man.
Yeah.
They say the rainforest is so big, it's the size of 12 states of Texas, man. That's the Amazon rainforest. Just like these devils ain't went all the way in the ocean and seen everything down there, they ain't went all the way into the rainforest to see them animals that's there, man.
Right.
It's crazy. It's gonna be crazy out here, man. So those noisome beasts, the Lord is gonna put the spirit on all of them at the same time to be like, oh, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Just being real.
Hey, just lay back and bro, you gonna have people going out into the woods, man, trying to escape the cities, man.
Point, bro.
Okay? And like the brother was going into, man, hey, Esau done seen, man, it's a report, bro. Esau done came out, man, and said he done seen something in the ocean 4 times bigger than the Eiffel Tower, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Who the hell is that? That's Leviathan, bro.
That's Leviathan.
Right.
Mm-hmm. They even recorded. It was like a sound. You know, and they said it was from miles away.
Like a Loch Ness monster.
Like a Loch Ness monster. Like it, but you're right. I like it. But nothing like. But like it, but nothing like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you're right though. Yeah.
Megalodon.
Yeah, but he on point though, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you got animals. The ocean is very vast and deep. And as much as people can say that they've been far and we're gonna keep breaking records, you can't get all the way down there. Ain't no way possible. And the deeper you get, the bigger they get.
Yep.
The deeper you get, the bigger they get, man. Hey, you're right. You know, as much as given, much as you're right about
I
that.
have my Bible. I have the other Bibles that were taken from the Vatican. The Vatican had taken the real Bible, and I actually just picked up a book of Solomon's Mines when he was in Africa doing mines.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
you gotta definitely be careful with that stuff, man.
Ecclesiastes 12 it talks about how, you know, with much reading, you know what I'm saying? Like it's never ending books.
Yeah,
You know,
it's weariness to
a lot
the
of
flesh.
books-
That's right.
I don't want to digress too far. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But a lot of these books, like the Book of Enoch or the Book of Jasher, like if you, I'm not saying that you read,
Yeah.
but a lot of these books that are out there, Esau just be making up this shit. They
Yeah.
like, okay, here you go. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
This-
right.
this- this-
A lot of us meant to mess your mind up and get you off track. You know, but we gonna finish this up real quick, and then you know your brothers got it. You know,
All right. Back in Ezekiel 14 and 16, though these 3 men were in it, as I live, saith Yahweh your power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters.
Like, you can't even save your kids, man. For brothers that have kids, now of course through the work that we do, we can hope that the Lord has mercy on our families and all that. But it's hell's breaking loose. Get the kids, get this, man. Pray to the Lord, man. That's the only way. The only way that your children will be able to get delivered out of here, one, they have to be established to be able to get out of there. But also the works that you do being a man of the Lord. You know? All right, faith. Because it talks about Job, he had kids, we know about it. It talks about Noah, he had kids, we know about it. But what kids to say about Daniel? Obviously Daniel had kids because it wouldn't have been there if he didn't. And Daniel was around there during the time of those Babylonians seizing Jerusalem. So Daniel's righteousness pretty much got him out of that situation. You know? Go ahead, though, brother.
It says, though these 3 men were in it, as I live, saith Yahweh your power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. They only shall be delivered, but the land shall be desolate.
Go ahead.
Or, if I bring a sword upon that land,
Now it's going to another judgment. The sword upon the land. And there's a great sword that's coming over here. As much as people can say this, they going to live good. It's not going to be as bad over here. You can keep on living your lives over here in America. They're going to keep growing in science and advancing other countries with everything. No, man, the Lord is going to give a cutoff point for this, man.
Right.
He put the spirit on these scientists to make these nuclear missiles so they can be used to nuke this bitch. Excuse my language. But that's what it is. And that's the ultimate sword, man. Not even on top of the other people that's going to come over here and do crazy things, man. They going to all send those nukes upon different countries they at, and they're going to bomb this bitch. This whore is getting ready to be burned, man. This is going to be a lake of fire, as the scriptures say, man. And that's the ultimate sword. All right? Go ahead.
World. I'm talking about world.
it says, Ezekiel 14 and 16, I'm sorry, verse 17, or if I bring a sword upon that land and say, sword, go through the land, so that I cut off man and beast from it, though these 3 men were in it, as I live, saith Yahweh your power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters.
And those are those chariots, man. Because that's the only way that those men will be delivered from that is through those chariots coming back, man.
Right.
And delivering the men of the Lord. All right? And all the work, put it like this, man. There's only so much you can do with your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your son, your daughter. At the end of the day, this is all in the Lord's hands.
Right.
And when that sword comes, hey man, like we was talking over there, Tazama, when that sword went over there to Jerusalem by those Babylonians, the spirit was on Jeremiah to go into Egypt. You know, now Jeremiah didn't willingly say, oh, I'm gonna go to Egypt. The spirit of the Lord was on Jeremiah to flee from that into Egypt, man. You know what I'm saying? And Daniel's an example. He was a captive in the land of and during the Babylonians, but with the amount of wisdom the Lord had gave him, on top of Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, he had set Daniel in a higher seat to the point where he wasn't going to be able to taste death like he seen his other peers do it.
Right,
and then you got Noah, for example, man. Noah, the Lord told Noah to build a boat. He built an ark, and he went on there and lived. You know? So the next device that's going to deliver the Israelites out of the sword is going to be the chariots, as the brothers had the sign right up there, man. Or as I can say, according to what modern people can perceive as UFOs, unidentified flying objects. That's what's going to deliver the men of the Lord. Right. All right? That's what's going to deliver them from these judgments that are to come to modern-day Egypt, Babylon, Rome, Nineveh, so forth, man, which is America.
Right.
All right? Go ahead,
It says in verse 19, it says, continuing in verse 18, it says, as I live, saith Yahweh your power, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves.
And he keeps saying it over and over and over again. After every judgment, he like, look, the only ones that's going to be able to deliver you is the Lord, and it's according to your righteousness, man. You can't deliver your son, your daughter, none of this. It's only according to yourself, man. Hey, that's why the scriptures say in the book of Philippians to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. You know? Again, it's going to get real out here. And as much as we can say it, and it might sound far-fetched, you like, man, that's kind of interesting. These guys are telling the truth. Blah, 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 blah. Back into your daily life, man, when all that shit happens, you're going to think about those men that was out here telling you the skinny of it, man.
That's right.
That's right.
That's just the truth of it. Go ahead,
It says in verse 19, or if I send a pestilence into that land.
This is another judgment, and you'll see it's the reason why I'm going into this, man, because the Lord always has a sequence of judgments he pushes out before he takes the land over.
Right.
And as the brother stated, the prophets are always out there letting you know this before it happens.
Right.
So now he's saying a pestilence, because you had the famine, you had the beasts, you had the sword. What does that mean? Death. Death on a mass scale. Dead, rotten bodies laying everywhere. Bacteria floating in the air. People breathing this in. You read it in Revelation, it says there's going to be so many dead bodies, it's going to be the blood is going to go to a horse's chest. And in the book of Nahum, it says there's so many dead bodies, people are going to trip over them, man. So it's going to be bad, man. So they're not going to be buried. Who's going to bury them? You know, you got an ambulance coming. Wee. Ain't no ambulance is going to come. They're going to be focusing on their own selves, their own families, man.
That's right.
So all that stuff, all that bacteria in the air, people are going to breathe all this stuff in. And that's going to cause a pestilence, man. Just like in Egypt, you had the boils, man. All right, you had those plagues that hit Egypt. And a lot of them had to do with, it was more than 4 plagues, but the 4 judgments was still hemorrhoids, boils, yeah. You had the cattle dying because of what? Famine. You had no meat to eat, you know? You had no grass because it was all types of shit that happened, man.
Water turned into blood.
That's right. The water turned to blood, so how you going to drink the water? Where you going to get water from?
You had the frogs that came on the land, and it pretty much tells you that the whole land was dark compared with the frogs. And then you got to think, the frogs died.
Good
and
point,
the frogs
brother.
just didn't disappear.
Good point, brother.
All the frogs died. And then even when the water turned to blood, the fishes died in the water.
That's right.
So you just can imagine how bad it stunk. And everything was completely jet in Egypt.
That's right.
Everything.
That's right. That's right.
Have you ever had no brothers that had a dead mouse in their house?
Stinks
You
as
couldn't
a
find it. You're like, damn, it's something dead in here.
And that's a mouse.
And it's a little bitty mouse. Just imagine a grown ass man laying out around the corner. Man.
There are millions of grown ass niggas.
Man, what?
You know what I'm saying? Real
Think when they're
talk.
alive.
Yeah, bro. Like you got people that stink when they alive. Imagine when they dead, man. And the thing about it, we keep on using examples of Egypt, this, that, and the third. The reason why we're using this as examples because look, just like it happened back then, it's going to happen again in a way more dramatic fashion. Way more dramatic fashion. America's way bigger than Egypt. All right? It's way more wicked than Egypt. It's all those wicked kingdoms put together.
Right.
So if it's all that put together, the fall is going to be way more dramatic.
I have a quick one for you.
God.
Amos 4 and 10.
I have sent among you the pestilence after the manner of Egypt. Your young men have I slain with the sword, and have taken away your horses. And I have made the stink of your camps to come up unto your nostrils. Yet have ye not returned unto me, saith Yahweh.
And this is pertaining to our own people, man. It's pertaining to Israel, people the Lord love. And he gonna kill off 2/3 of our own people. So just imagine to the people, not only these 2/3, but to the people who he has perpetual indignation for, man.
Right.
The lower levels of it. Because the higher levels, they gonna be good for a little bit. You know, after the let get beamed up. Lord of the widows, man, we're gonna come down and take their dusty, dirty asses out of them caves, man. You know what I'm saying? But those lower level Edomites and those 2/3 of these heathen that's out here, oh man, bro, the Lord gonna do some work, bro. And that's real quick before you bring a point out. We talk about how the earth is gonna, if the earth is gonna have to be rebuilt, because we understand Babylon is gonna be burnt,
Right.
but it's gonna be hell everywhere. And somebody got to clean those bodies up, man.
Right.
Somebody got to do all that cleaning from all that filth and stench all over the place. You know? You had a point, Tazama?
What's crazy, I was just thinking, it's like, man, hey, it's crazy how these devils resorted from the caves and they came out and they built their cities, and now at the end, they're going to resort back to their caves.
Right.
They're going to go back to
That's
where
right.
they came from.
That's right.
And then when we have them in the kingdom, you know what I'm saying, we're going to throw their ass back, we're going to throw them back into the holes, into the caves, man.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, man, hey, bro, y'all watching our shots far out.
Far out, man.
You know what I'm saying? And like, that's why it's important to fear the Lord, man, because if you don't fear him, man, you think that, people just think that, oh, okay, the day of the Lord's going to come, oh, I'm just going to stand when the missiles going to come, I'll disintegrate anyways, and I'll be good.
Man,
That's what people's mindset is, man. Like, man, Lord, I can have you disintegrate and be burning up, and it's going to feel like years.
Yeah. And even before the fire, man, you going to go through these judgments that's listed, man. You ain't going to just sit there and just go scotch-free and be like, oh, fire, I'm dead real quick. No, man. The Lord said, fear not them that fear to kill the body, but fear him that killeth the body and soul in hell, man. Meaning he's going to put you through hell, bro. Beast, you're going to witness your children dying, your close relatives dying, starving. It's one thing about your child dying quick. It's traumatic. But imagine your child starving, man. Starving to the point where he has nothing to eat. Imagine seeing your child get eaten by a wild beast. Imagine yourself eating your child. You can't do it. You can't imagine it. But the scriptures say it's going to happen. Go ahead. I'm going to finish up on that. Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the scriptures say in Proverbs 10, if I'm not mistaken, Most High is going to find out what your fear is, and he's going to put it on you.
That's right. That's right.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that's Proverbs 10.
God.
You know, so imagine your greatest fear, man.
That's right.
Imagine, you know, you got people fear all kinds of different fears, man. We all have nightmares, you know. Some brothers might fear burning, drowning, falling to their death, man.
Yeah.
Getting eaten.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be, I'm saying, like,
Mauled by an animal.
That's right. That's right.
Whatever it may be, the Most High is going to know it and put it on you.
That's right.
And bring it to you, man.
That's
so
right.
whether it be something like that or like you said, you know, watching your kid get torn up
Great point, though.
by something, you know. That's why it's important to fear the Most High, man.
Hey, that's a good point, bro. You know, that reminds me from what you said, the movie Fall. It's a movie called The Fall or The Mist, one of the two. And it's a show on Netflix. You know what I'm saying? It's a show on Netflix, and what you're going into pretty much, that's what that mist does. When you out there, if you ain't in the protection of your house, and you go out of your house, that mist goes into you, and you start witnessing your worst fears, and they kill you, they attack you. You know?
it's like Bird Box, you know?
That's right. That's right. It too. That's right. You're right. But it's two more verses, and y'all brothers got it, man.
Okay, back in Ezekiel, I think I switched to that one. I got you, brother.
Come on,
I know, right? I'm just joking, brother. Oh no, I got it right. Lamentations. Okay, yeah, I did. Ezekiel 14 and it's 20, right?
Hold the Bible upside down. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, I'm messing with you.
God. Ezekiel chapter 14 and 19. Or if I send a pestilence into that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast.
Real quick, I want to make a quick point about the pestilence, man. Hey, it's the spirit how Bill Gates is coming out here saying the world needs to prepare for a pandemic that can kill
Right.
hundreds of millions
That's
of people.
right. That's right. That's
No,
right.
he's coming out here saying, okay, hey, we need to prepare because a pandemic and a disease is about to break out.
Right.
That's gonna kill hundreds of millions of people, man.
Right.
And people just living about their life. Oh, what? Hey, man, you see what Bill Gates said? Yeah, man, that shit crazy, right? Damn, son.
It's gonna get real, and then it turned into barbershop conversation.
Yeah, talking about
You know what I'm saying? They'll just sit there and talk and have an argument, and then just the next day, what about that 2K though? Man, bro.
But what they don't understand, the people on the side, he's talking about y'all.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Too much you talking to Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man.
That's right, brother.
And then they just have a chemical plant catch fire, explode in Houston.
Yeah.
And then I had a lady from Houston come to my shop, and she was telling me that they won't even tell her what kind of chemicals is getting put out. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's crazy. Yeah.
It's all in the air, in the water, and everything.
You people drinking it, man.
It says back in Ezekiel 14 and 20, though Noah and Daniel and Job were in it, as I live, said Yahweh your power, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness.
Go ahead.
For this saith Yahweh your power, how much more when I send my 4 sore judgments upon Jerusalem?
The Lord deals with those 4 judgments every trip. Every single trip, man. Now it says upon Jerusalem. Guess what? Jerusalem's a people before it's a place.
Right.
So as a brother Bond said, man, this is talking to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans first. Because it says judgment shall begin in the sanctuary of the Lord. But then it's going to be on a massive scale to Babylon, man. Egypt. All this is going to hit Egypt. Don't get it twisted. But you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are over here in Egypt that ain't getting right, you're going to get that work first, man. And it's going to be in a very dramatic fashion. It's going to be as a lion's chasing you and you're running from it, and you leave it and the bear meets you and you leave that and you lean your hand on the wall and the serpent bites your ass, man. There's going to be no way that you're going to escape from your judgment. As much as you can try to go into the holes of the rocks, try to go into space, try to go into the water, the Lord has a number on you. He's going to get you. He's going to get you, man. You know?
Yeah, I like that script because it tells you, it makes you think you're going to get away.
That's right.
That's that hand on the wall serpent bite.
That's right.
That's that, you know, it's a brief period of like, man, I got away, you know? I got away, and then boom, judgment, man. That's poisonous snake bite you, man, and it puts you to death.
It says, how much more when I send my 4 sore judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence to cut off from it man and beast.
Man, all these pestilence, man, all these terrible plagues, man, come into this place, man. All your worst fears, everything you can imagine, come into this place, man. Right? To just bring it to an end, man. Like I said, man, everything, like it says in Proverbs 10, man. As a matter of fact, I want to get that. As a matter of fact, I think my brother mentioned Philippians 2 and 12. That one, real quick. Philippians 2 and 12 and Proverbs 10.
Okay. I got something. You want that right now?
Yeah, finish what you
Well, it's precept. Lamentations 4 and 9, it says, they that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. Going into how during the famine and the pestilence, okay, and the destruction, it's going to be better to be killed on the spot than to die from or than to suffer through famine. Reason being because you don't die immediately. All right, those uric acids in your stomach literally devour your insides from the inside out slowly and very painfully, man. All right, there was a video that came up of a 19-year-old weighing 22 pounds that died in her mother's arm out there in Venezuela, okay, due to her malnutrition, okay, and that exactly starvation, man. And you can imagine how painful that was for that 22 pounds, bro. You got 4-year-olds weigh 3-year-olds weigh more than 22 pounds.
Well, the mother of the child, the mother of the daughter, I'd rather say, she wasn't a child. She was a child still, but you know what I'm saying. The mother she was carrying her through the streets because the hospitals was closed down because there was no power.
Right.
You gotta think, and I'm getting right back to you, Kawhi. I'm gonna say something real quick. You gotta think, when power shuts down, you have refrigeration that shuts down, whereas the food can't stay cold. Certain foods that need to be cold. You have hospital respirators that shut down. You have water that stops flowing. You can't flush your toilet. You can't run water. You can't boil water. You can't heat the water up unless you start your own fire. People that need insulin shots. Insulin needs to stay cold. Certain medicines that people need needs to stay cold. Babies that are in incubators will die. You see what I'm saying? You can't use your car because you can't get gas because the gas ain't being pumped. Bro, that's what I'm saying. The Most High will systematically shut the game down when He wants to. Woo! He will shut it down, man. And the thing is, He'll shut it down. It's like being stabbed underneath your fifth rib. You gonna die, but you gonna die slow. It's gonna be an agonizing, painful death. And I'm telling you, man, like, hey, that's why I'm speaking to myself, man. Fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right?
Right.
Fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. There's certain things that you ain't doing right. Change it, man. Change it. Rend your ways, man. You see what I'm saying? Repent. It's about to get horrible out here, man. Woo! You got it, boy.
This is Philippians chapter 2 and 12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence."
No, it's the one, fear and trembling.
Yeah, that's
It says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling."
Right, with fear and with trembling. With fear and trembling, man. Fear the Most High, man. All right? It's not, doesn't it say in Proverbs 1, the fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom?
That's right.
You know? And it's not wisdom and knowledge, the stability of thy time?
right.
That's right.
All right? That's what's gonna get you through this, man. Fear the Most High, man. Just fear the Most High. Whatever He's got coming toward you, man, just fear the Most High, man. Fear Him, and that will be your stability, man. Stop worrying about everything else, man. Stop worrying about everybody. Read that again.
It's Philippians chapter 2 and 12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence."
Yeah, and much more in my absence, man. And, you know, and you know, brother, hey, you might. Sometimes it seems like this is never gonna end. Right? You know, sometimes it feels like Most High is absent. That's a demon, man. Right? Go ahead.
It says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling."
Yeah, with fear and trembling. Hey, recognize that the Lord can put your worst fear on you. Like I said earlier, man. You know, that's a terrible thought. That's a terrible thought. That's a scary thought. I mean, hey,
That's when a soul comes down from the spirit world, it comes down from the spirit world to do what? To go through the judgment that the Most High has set. So if your works here on planet Earth are not according to the will of the Most High in righteousness, then you're going to be tormented down here in hell, so to speak, okay? In the grave, all right? This is the lowest existence that a being can experience.
and like brother mentioned, man, or you know, he gonna might put you through some suffering, man, where you don't get put out of your misery. What's that script you brought out earlier, where when it said,
These final ways
yeah, kind of. Better they, yeah, man. Sometimes you want to get put out of your misery, man.
Yep.
It's better to be dead than to suffer.
Yep. God.
That's the scripture says, "For it is the Most High who worketh in you both to will and to do of His good pleasure." If I can break it down, man, it's the Heavenly Father that allows you to do good, His will and good pleasures and goodly things and do righteousness and commit righteousness. You know, it's of the Heavenly Father, or if you go off, you know, and do wickedness, you know, hey man, that's why you gotta fear Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man, because it's either He wants you or He don't want you, man. You know, He can be setting it up for you to believe that, hey, I'm a man of the Lord, I believe I'm a man of the Lord, but make you not. You know?
Hey, let me correct make a quick point. Well, in the book of James, it talks about how a heavenly Father, he won't tempt you to do evil. You see what I'm saying? Now that's of Satan, but at the end of the day, alluding to Isaiah 45:7, I bring light and darkness, I make peace and create evil. Yahweh Shem Shai is encompassing all. But to be tempted with evil, you know what I'm saying? That comes from within. You see what I'm saying? But I just want to just
Hey, and the Most High is not going to tempt you beyond your ability, like it says in First Corinthians. He's always he's going to always have a doorway, man, or a way out, man. He might tempt you, but he's gonna make it not beyond your ability. You know,
You're gonna make the choice to do it.
That's right.
God.
But ultimately, whether you make the choice or not, when you go off, it's of the will of the Lord, man. Hey, you just got to keep going forward, man. Don't, like the scriptures say, not to endure, beat yourself up over iniquity that you've committed. You know? Right, there you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, get back up.
Hey, yeah, man. There's no free will out here.
That's right.
Yeah, it's hard to kick against the pricks, man.
God.
You know, you can't. Hey, the Most High is His will. So, hey, it might seem like you got a choice. It might seem like this and that or the other, but at the end of the day, it's the Most High's program. It's the Most High's vision. It's the Most High's creation. Period, man. So that's why it's relevant to fear. You know.
You remember what they get in Proverbs?
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse 24. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him.
That's right. Yeah. So, hey, like I was saying, man. Hey, simple as that. Hey, the fear of you wicked people is gonna come upon you, sooner or later. This time or the next, man. You know, Most High is gonna judge you accordingly.
It says, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted.
Ooh, hey, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted.
Right.
Hey, but who are the righteous? Ask yourself that. Where are the righteous people at? Huh? You know?
And there's men on the planet Earth who's God, there's no God found in their heart.
That's right. You know, we're dropping down to...
Hey, so like, and the desire of the righteous people is the kingdom of heaven. And the kingdom of heaven is here on earth. It's gonna be here on earth and beyond.
You know, it started done with the wisdom and not to understand the kingdom of heaven on the day you got.
That's right.
Go ahead. Is Psalms 58 and 10, the righteous shall rejoice when he seeth the vengeance.
Hey, and the vengeance, and who has the vengeance, man? The Lord, hey, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, man. You wait till you see His vengeance, man, upon this wicked place, man. You wait till you see it, man.
He shall wash his feet in the blood of the wicked.
That's right, man. Hey, gonna wash His feet in the blood. Hey, Lord willing, we're gonna walk on you, devil.
Yep.
The righteous are gonna walk on you, man.
Yep.
There's gonna be bodies everywhere out here, man. Like it came up earlier. It's gonna reek of death out here, man. Oh, you wicked people, y'all gonna be laying dead pretty soon. Y'all ain't gonna be riding around on scooters anymore.
Right. All right. It says, so that a man shall say, verily there is a reward for the righteous. Verily, he is a power that judges in the earth. In the earth.
That's right. Hey, in the earth, man.
God.
Hey, and that's gonna be the beginning of the end when we see you wicked people dead out here, man.
That's right.
That's it. Hey, call it what you want, man. But that's gonna be beautiful. That's gonna be a beautiful thing, man.
That's right. Hey,
I'm gonna say it how it is, man.
the scripture say that, man. The righteous is going to be, pretty much the righteous is going to rejoice when they see the reward of the wicked. And the reward of the wicked is going to see this place be completely burnt up by thermonuclear fire.
Woo! Kind, brother.
It's in the book of Revelations, man.
Yep. Get that next.
Stand on the sea of glass, man. That sea of glass is going to be in the chariots looking down, man. We're going to be fearing, but we're going to see that our enemies being destroyed.
That's right.
Those Hawkeyes, Hawkeyes, man.
Talking about real
Dig in, get to see exactly what's going on.
Hey, you wicked people need to get knocked down a peg or two, or 3 or 4 or 5.
Right.
Or yeah. Because, hey, it's vexing to see the wicked out here just lollygagging all day, man.
That time is short.
Yeah. Just to see wicked people at ease, man.
Yeah, Psalm 73.
Yeah, I was just about to say, what's that? Yeah, that one.
You want to get that?
Yeah, if you want to get that one.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 8. It says, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually.
Hey, that's us, man. That's what we're doing out here. We're prophesying and sighing and crying and complaining, man. We continuously complain to the Most High. When you're in the right spirit, you continuously complain to the Most High, man. I know I do.
Hey, it's saying, bro. It's saying we're supposed to cry to the Most High, man. It's saying give him no rest, man, until you establish Jerusalem as a praise in the earth. Is what we're paraphrasing, man. Okay, so that's a part of what we're supposed to be doing, man. Okay, crying out to the Most High, man. Every time we cry to the Most High, man, what does he do? He send that deliverer, man. Like it says in Isaiah 19 and 19, man. Okay, I think that's the verse, man. Okay, they cried to him because of the oppressor, man. And he gonna send that Savior, man, which is Yahweh shot, man.
How much longer, man? How much longer? Lord willing, not much longer. You can see it, man. You can smell it. You can see it in the signs of the times, man. That this is done. It's over, man. Well, hey, we're tired of coming out here crying all day, man. The righteous are tired, man. You wicked people are at ease, man.
That's right.
The righteous people are tired.
Right.
We're tired of looking at you. We're tired. We're tired of it. All right, we're gonna continue to come out here and tell you we're tired of it.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. You got to keep on.
It says, and therefore said the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Behold, my people are behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched forth arm, out with the Salakim, and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with the plagues as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof.
That's right. Hey, just going back to what we were talking about when we started camp. All right, the Passover, our deliverance. All right, just like when the Most High brought us out of our ancient captivity, under the bondage of Pharaoh, man. This bondage. Hey, it's time for you to go in bondage, man.
That's right.
It's time for you to suffer and all that, man.
Right.
And like the scriptures say, we're gonna rejoice at it.
That's right.
It's our turn to kick back and enjoy the fruits of our labors.
That's right. They say, righteous is mad, we go out. This is Daniel 7:25. And he shall say great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High. He said the righteous is mad, be worn out. And think to change times and laws, and it shall be given into his hand until a time and times in dividing of times.
Right, man. Hey, and everything's out of order under these heathens, man. Y'all threw the whole cosmos out of order, man. Everything. Y'all pervert everything, man. Name it, you name it, man. From times to gender identities, to the order, just. You know what I'm talking about? You put women over the men. You put the children over the men. The children over everything. All right. You got these devils running everything. Base men running everything.
Hey, bro, it goes to show you, man, that Esau is Cain, man. That nigga is disobedient, man.
Wait, going back to the sacrifice, and they're gonna offer some fruit, man. Some vegetables, man. It shows that nigga is disobedient, man. Even on to this day, man, he changed the law. He doesn't care about following the way of your how about Shimmy Awashai, man. Okay?
Hey, that's what we was going into earlier, man. He's the perfect adversary, man. Satan, or Shaitan in the Hebrew, he's the perfect adversary to the Most High and to the Most High's people. And that's why I wanted to get something real quick and something like that.
Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant.
That's right, and that's what's happened, man. That's what Esau has done, man. He's changed the laws. Hey, that's why Psalms 50 and 16 says they put their hand on the Bible, but they don't basically follow any of the instruction of the Heavenly Father. They do complete opposition mode. Whatever the Most High say, Esau go completely the opposite end of the spectrum. And that's why this kingdom is going to be destroyed. They changed the times, certain things that the Most High set up. They removed the ancient landmarks for all of these different things, man. Go ahead.
Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and a few men left.
Just like we've been going into, the whole tone of tonight's speaking seems like Egypt, man.
Right.
Just that deliverance and that exodus out of Egypt, out of ancient Egypt, leading up to today, out of spiritual Egypt, Great Babylon, America, man. The same curses the Most High is putting on this place as the Lord is hardening the heart of modern day Pharaoh. These are higher up in elites, man. And because of all of that, those pernicious ways and opposition mode against the Most High, they've created a system of death. And the Most High is just going to basically put the nail in the coffin for this place.
Right.
You know? It's long overdue. This earth needs to just be refreshed. And fire is the perfect cleansing agent to do that job. And it says, and the earth is burned and few men left. Out of that whole process, like we was going into, the priest went into Noah, man. You know what I'm saying? The Lord's going to come with the second death, which is going to be by fire, and only a few men going to be left on this go around as well. You know? Everything's meeting full circle. You know? That's it on that. That's, yeah.
Hey, if I could bring a point up, man. Hey, the brother was talking about how the Esau has controlled times. And the Most High can set it to where midnight can last for 12 hours, man. You can wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning, and the sun ain't up. Like, damn, it's still pitch black night outside. What the, like, what's going on? But hey, the Most High controls the time, man. That's right. And the scripture says that time is coming where it's going to be darkness, man. And no light in it, man. It's going to be straight up dark.
Hey, that's the spirit you bring that out in the book of Joshua. Most High had a day last, 2 days? Yeah. He stopped the sun for 2 days just to get it in on you heat.
Right.
Israel was who was it? Was it I forget which one it was. He stopped the sun while Israel was putting you heathens to death. Man.
I think it was a Hamite.
Yeah, it was one of them Canaanite tribes. Yeah, because like it says in the New Testament, I think it's Galatians somewhere. It says, "Let not the sun go down on upon your anger or your wrath, man." Right. Scriptures tell us we ain't supposed to be doing that at night, man. Right. You know, when the sun goes down, we're supposed to calm it down and chill out. But the Most High had a day last 48 or something long, man. Just to get it in on you, man.
It shows how the Most High can extend time.
Right, man. Hey, there you go. So
over that whole concept of what you think
right. Really, time don't really don't exist. Time don't exist, man. It's your mortality exists, man. Yeah, death exists.
Right.
Esau exists.
Light exists, darkness exists.
Light and dark. Yeah. Really, time is just an immortal thing, man. It don't. There's no beginning or end to it, man. But anyway, I think this brother's script will close out on that.
All right, this is 2nd Ezra, chapter 4, verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou askest me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. Which is, what is that going into? That's going into the evil that is sown. It's talking about the root of evil, which is really Esau, a self-proclaimed white man in these times. Unless he's cast down, the kingdom of heaven cannot be brought back up. So you can't. So when the elder Ariel likes to go into the paradigm shift, you can't have two. You can't have Esau and Jacob ruling at the same time. All right. So Esau has to go down for the kingdom of heaven to be established. And one more verse, it says, "For the grain of evil seed has been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. How much ungodliness hath it brought up unto this time? And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come?" And that's exactly what we see now, man. The multitude of evil and wickedness being brought forth unto the apex, until the Most High brings it all the way down, as the scriptures talk about the sins of Babylon been stacked up, man. All right, so we can't wait to see this place fall.
All right, the time of threshing is coming, man. The scriptures say, "I will make thee a sharp threshing instrument," man. Going into his mid, man. We're gonna be that sharp threshing instrument against you heathen, man. All right, tearing your ass up. Right. All right. So we'll end off on that. Any brother got anything else? All right. So on that note, all praises to Yahweh. Double honors to our apostles and elders. All right. Death to America. Death to Esau. And death to you 2/3. All right. Salutations to